think it's hard to keep the dollar in the community. I mean, it's proven. I mean, you talk about small mom and pop, they pay a loan to the bank. We may give the dollar to the mom and pop, it goes to the bank, which is not owned by us, right? We first have to fix those leakage within our community, right? Talk about, you have to have the generational wealth to keep it in the community first. So that's the thing, you should start with building the wealth and then be able to fix the leakage. And then from there, that's when you go on and say, hey, brand, it comes to the brand, right? I'm gonna get this from, let's say, Walmart, when I know, you know, the mom and pop down the street can make it. If my price of mom and pop is a little cheaper and the quality is comparable or better, I'll go to her. But sometimes you also see that the price margin is pretty hectic, right? So that's my own personal way of figuring it out. I'd love to give my dollar and every dollar to the Black community, but I also have my own brands, right? We talk about we're loyal to brands. I have my special group of brands that I dedicate to, but also I'm conscious of how I need to help the mom and pop down the street.
I mean, I think that when it comes down to it, I think we have to support Black-owned business, and I agree that we don't have to solely support every Black-owned business or every, you know, but you know, at the end of the day, when we sit down and we think about the fact that we don't have certain influences or there's certain products that aren't going to be made for us, or we have brands that are created by us, sold to somebody else, and then all of a sudden there's a whole different image that doesn't include us on it anymore. For us to be mad when we go into stores and we can't find products that we want in the stores, or be mad that we can't get the loans as business owners, or to be mad that we can't create the products because we don't have access to the people who can produce the products. At the end of the day, we then have to come and say, how do we create this community? And there was a time where we actually had that. Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 4th Ave District in Birmingham, Alabama, where we own the stores, the grocery stores, the churches, we own the schools, we had the police station, and the dollar went around. We own the banks, so the dollar would go around that community, because when you spent it in a store, the store owner would then be paying his employees, well, happen to be Black employees, which then they would go and spend some money at the grocery store that was Black owned, or for entertainment at the movie theater that was Black owned. And what happened was that dollar would go around our community and it would benefit us. But now we look at our communities, and our communities are being torn apart in certain places. We have this whole media message that's out there that says, hey, Blacks aren't anything. Like the exception to their rule is an educated Black person versus the other way around. And so I feel like, especially when we sit and we work and are in these companies who also aren't giving the attention to our community that we need to, it is up to us to make sure that we don't have to exclude anybody else, but you can say we're excluded from everywhere else. So right here, this will be our priority. Right, our priority focus will be my Black people. It doesn't mean that nobody else is relevant. It doesn't mean that I don't include conversations or products or anything for anybody else. It just means I am going to prioritize my community, because my community has not been prioritized anywhere else. And that's why I feel it is so important for us to support Black-owned businesses, and that we actually have to, in many cases, we should support that. Even if we got to spend $1.50 over here versus $1, we should support this community.
There is no Black power without the Black dollar. If you talking Black power without Black dollar, you're a hypocrite. The power is based on the dollar. The Black power grows out of the financial structure of the community. White power. Why do white people have power? Access to capital. They build the schools, they build the banks, they build the roads, they build the churches, they build the ships, they build the airplanes. White power is based on the white dollar. Chinese, Koreans in a Black neighborhood. How do you got Korean power in the ghetto? Because they own the mom and pop stops. The Korean dollar equals Korean power. That's true for every group. East Indians, hotel industry, Days Inn in particular, they corner in the hotel industry. East Indian power is based on the East Indian dollar. You see? Then you come to Black folks. Now check this out. East Indian, the basis of the power is the dollar. Anglo-Saxon, the basis of the power is the dollar. Arab, basis of the power is the dollar. Jew, basis of the power is the dollar. Then you come to Black folk. Basis of the power is reading and information.